Hello everyone, this is Dimitri from DIM Studio. We continue our series of video tutorials on working with the current version of the A-Parser program. Today, we'll talk about how to quickly put together a preset for checking competitor domains for availability. This is a very relevant topic for people involved in domain purchasing. It's a highly useful preset. It works based on the NetEV Whois parser, and essentially it checks various data through the Whois service. Let's quickly put together a preset right away. Here we have the standard default preset loaded, and in the thread config I have 50 threads, but we don't really need that many. So let's just save it right away, add a new name, and let's call it something more descriptive. This way it will be easier to identify later. NetQuiz. Yes, in the main category. And right here in the parser, we simply type the word net, and there it is, appearing at the bottom of the list. You can select it right away without any delay, and then we add the proxy settings. We make sure to set it so that it uses a proxy connection. So in your parser settings, you need to have a working, properly configured proxy available. Next, we have the result format in the following way. If we hover over it, here is the preset for the parser itself. We will see those. Here are the result variables that we can output. I suggest that we create a table as follows. The domains, separated by commas, which we will enter next. The table will include the registration date, the expiration date, the registration status, and the date when the domain will be released. Let's go ahead and sketch it out accordingly for purchasing as well, making sure we cover all the necessary details. First, we delete this preset, and then right here, we write the following format for clarity. The very first thing in our table will be a comprehensive list of the domains themselves clearly laid out. Next, when the domain is registered, or rather not exactly when, but here it means when the domain can be purchased. It may not be delegated. So accordingly, not when it is registered, but rather the actual registration date, the date when the registration officially ends, and also the date when the domain will be released and become available for purchase. Usually there is about a month of difference, typically around 30 days between this date and that one. Okay, next, queries. Here we need to enter the domains. What I did was I went to Yandex, the search engine, typed in the word auto into the search bar, and took the first 5 domains it gave me. I entered them into a file and saved it. This is an automotive topic, and now I'll connect it as a file. It'll be easier that way. Here it connected right away for me. Next, the following thing we need to do now is set the file name. We set the file name to HTML so that the table looks nice. How do you create MF tables? This was already covered in previous videos. You can check them out. And here you can give it any name like competitor or something. Competitor, it doesn't really matter since you create it yourself right here. Click on the More Options button, and in the initial text field we carefully enter the table's title. So basically the initial text will be the table itself. It looks like this. Everything else is the same. Here are the standard headers, and here is our list. Domain, registered or not, registration date, expiration date, and release date. Here I have set the alignment. If you know HTML, you can quite easily add different styles here, such as colors or fonts and so on. The final text. This will be the closing of the table itself. That is, the table is closed as well as the closing of the HTML markup itself. That's it, we don't add anything else here. You can enable and enter a log in case of any errors. We now carefully save this preset and then click to add the task. So now we have a file. Let's open it and take a look. Here is our table, which provides detailed information about the various domains. Here we have a comprehensive list of domains indicating whether they are currently registered or not, the specific registration date, as well as the expiration date for each domain. When the domain becomes available again, usually there is a difference of approximately 1 month and 1 day here, which is important to note. For example, if the expiration date is 25th of February 2012, we can literally already buy it. That is, you need to submit a purchase request exactly at 12 o'clock midnight, and if you make it in time, you can buy this domain. This system, in my opinion, is actually very convenient and easy to use. From the perspective of checking competitors, we simply put the domains we need into the file and then start the check. Let me remind you that here, in the task settings, we can specify various options. We can also specify parameters here. We can add another one. There will be a request to check the name servers in order to verify them properly. And here we can also take a moment to read about it in more detail. This is exactly what we did. Yes, you can also output a detailed list of name servers, meaning you can see who else they will be looking at. We can also generate an output. We created an HTML table together, but we can also output the data as a CSV file, as a CSV table, whatever is more convenient. So all of this data can be presented in different formats. We already showed in previous videos how to generate this, and in principle, there's nothing complicated here either. This kind of parser is very convenient. I highly recommend using it. That's all for today. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and like the video. There's still a lot of interesting content to come. See you next time.